Commission on Judicial Appointments is now in session. The Honorable Patricia Guerrero presiding. You may be seated.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the public hearing of the Commission on Judicial Appointments. As Chief Justice of California, I serve as chair of the Commission. The other members of the Commission are Attorney General Rob Wanta and Presiding Justice Manuel Ramirez.
Thank you, Chief.
Janelle Baker is Secretary to the Commission. This hearing is to consider Governor Gavin Newsom's appointment of Judge Julia Kelety to the office of the Associate Justice for the Court of Appeal, 4th Appellate District, Division 1. The Commission is in receipt of a letter from Governor Newsom appointing Judge Kelety to fill a vacancy created by the elevation, this feels weird saying, of Chief Justice Patricia Guerrero. The state constitution specifies that an appointment by the governor to the Court of Appeal is effective when confirmed by the Commission on Judicial Appointments. The Commission received correspondence pertaining to this appointment, and we made these letters available to the press and public a few days ago. Pursuant to a request by Governor Newsom, the State Bar's Judicial Nominees Evaluation Commission, Jenny, has undertaken an evaluation of the qualifications of Judge Kelety for this position. Mr. Adam Hoffman, who's the chair of the commission, is present to share the results of the evaluation later in the proceedings today. And Judge Kelety has asked the following persons to be called to testify on her behalf. I will list all of you and invite you separately to come to the podium. Dr. Gordon Craig, Judge Kelety's brother. Welcome. The Honorable Mitchell D. Denman, Magistrate Judge for the United States District Court, Southern District of California. Welcome. And the Honorable Nadia Keilani. Welcome. Judge with the Superior Court for San Diego County. We first invite Dr. Craig to the podium.
Thank you. Well, thanks. This is great. So, good afternoon. I was honored when my sister Julie, whom most of you know as Julia, asked me to say a few words about our family life way back when we were growing up in Tempe, Arizona. First, I'd like to start with some facts. And in honor of this event, I'm going to, well, with the caveat that my knowledge of the law is limited to watching My Cousin Vinny a few times, I'm going to frame a theme for this whole speech about, based on judgment. And back in those days, Julie had it, the rest of us, not so much. And I'll go through some basic underlying things. There were 4 kids from our parents. Julia was the second, I was the fourth. She's 6 years older than me, and I learned a lot of stuff from her as a kid. I learned the mechanics of printing by tracing letters that she had her printing on paper. She taught me important things like the correct spelling of the contraction should have is not the word should followed by the letter A. And later on, she was my go-to person for proofreading for things like those pesky college essays. Now, she was different from all the rest of us siblings. We wondered about her. She had dark hair, dark eyes, and she had judgment. Not so much. We didn't do that. I'm guessing the judgment gene came from our mother. She passed away when I was 1 and Julie was 7. And I say that because I'm pretty sure it didn't come from our dad. Although I have to give my dad a break. I can't imagine trying to raise the 4 of us as a single parent while being a full-time chemical engineering professor at Arizona State. So I'll offer some evidence of Dad's questionable judgment. Spring break comes, and he loads all of us up for a fishing trip at Lake Powell. So there's the 4 of us, there's the dog, there's a whole bunch of lines in the water tangled together underneath the boat for sure. And meanwhile, Dad's trying to fix all this and the dog is eating our lunch. It was basically chaos day after day. And Dad did this year after year. Amazing. But you wonder. So of course we adored our dad. He was calm, kind, he treated people well. He could say things like nifty swifty, and he could fix anything, including outboard motors that were encased in fishing line. Now, Dad remarried when I was 5 and Julie was 11, and from that we got a new sister, Anna Lou. We got this extended supportive family in Mesa, and we stayed in Tempe throughout high school. And Julie was very active in high school. She was in the band. She played baritone, flute, xylophone. I was wondering why she left out viola, but we can ask her about that later. She won awards in oratory at the state level. She was also very active in drama and did started in a lot of shows. I remember once she was the matchmaker in Fiddler on the Roof. Now, it was when Julie was in high school that our father passed away. Fortunately, we had the large family in Mesa who was, again, very supportive, and our stepmother did her best with us. It must have been hard on her, I'm sure. But just to make sure that bad things happen in threes, she passed away when Julie was in college at the University of Arizona. Now, fortunately for me, our new sister Anna Lou, not so new anymore, but our sister Anna Lou, who was 15 years older than me, signed up to be my legal guardian. And again, so that worked out really well for me, but I look at this person who's 29 signing up to take on the guardianship for a 13-year-old, and I sort of wonder about the judgment. So one could look at this family life we had and say, what a story of tragedy. But I would say, yeah, but that's true, but we also had this excellent example of how to treat people from our father. We had this extended supportive family in Mesa. We had our group of friends in Tempe, which had been built up over the years. So I looked at it and thought, in a lot of ways, we were pretty fortunate. And now, I guess it's not too surprising. All those siblings have gone their separate ways, but when we get together, it's at Julie's home in San Diego. Which I would offer as a little bit of evidence that we have, her siblings can occasionally show good judgment. But if you asked me to pick somebody to be on the appellate judge or to be on the appellate court from within our family or even outside of our family, I don't think we could do any better than Julie. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Craig, for that really insightful view into her childhood and yours. And it's important to remember where we come from, and it's clear you guys have this incredible bond. So thank you. The commission next invites Judge Denman.
Good afternoon, Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, Presiding Justice Ramirez. I'm here, I am a magistrate judge in San Diego, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here representing Julia, Julie, Jules, her friends, her colleagues in the U.S. Attorney's Office from our time together, and the agents that we worked with. I was also a client of Julia's during the brief period of time that she worked as a probate lawyer with her Uncle Howard. So I cover the range, and in the few minutes I have, it's really difficult to do all that, but I'll try. I will say that Julia insisted repeatedly when she invited me to do this. She reminded me consistently that this is not a roast. I don't know why she felt it necessary to do that. And I did push back on her, but secretly I was relieved because she's unroastable. She is kind and smart, generous, loyal, occasionally funny, and smart enough, again, to marry someone who's a good cook. I met Julia when I rejoined the U.S. Attorney's Office in 1991 at the U.S. Attorney's Office annual Over-the-Line tournament, where food was scarce. I did not know her or she me, and we battled over a lone bag of potato chips. It says something about her that she won. Shortly after that, we came to be involved together for what I think for both of us is one of the most important experiences of our lives and tells us something about who she is. Together, we were the lead prosecutors in an FBI undercover operation, 2 actually, back in the early 90s. One was called Operation Disconnect, in which I was the lead, and one was called Operation Senior Sentinel, in which she was the lead. And together with the FBI, we attacked telemarketers of that era who were focused on cheating the elderly out of their money. They used a form of fraud called prize promotion. That is, they'd call up these folks and promise them and congratulate them for winning one of the following five fabulous prizes. Of course, the one prize they won was what they called the gimme gift, and they oversold it. But they stole and stole and stole from these poor people until this undercover operation was designed to bring them down. San Diego was the lead. We did 90 of those telemarketers in the first wave. One of the cases was assigned to Julia, and that was the case that the defense bar decided to test us with and take to trial. So Julia, as a fairly new prosecutor, tried 10 defendants, 10 or 11, I can't remember, in front of a very cranky U.S. district judge. And in watching her do that, you realize who she is. She appreciates doing justice. She supports the rule of law. She is professional and civil. And mostly, she's compassionate. Having to prepare and helping her prepare to have these elderly folks testify in trial, folks whose memory was a thing of the past, her ability to work with these people and reach them and get them to stand up to cross-examination was fascinating to see. And it's one of the reasons, one of many, that the folks I support or that I represent support her confirmation as a justice of the appellate court. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Judge Denman. I'm curious, but I will refrain from asking who that judge was. Exercising the judgment that I understand she has. No, that's okay. Thank you. The commission next invites to the podium Judge Keilani.
Good afternoon, Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, and Acting Presiding Justice Ramirez. It is an immense honor for me to be here today with all of you to talk about my dear friend, colleague, and mentor, the Honorable Julia Craig Kelety, and to state my strong support of Judge Kelety's elevation to the 4th District Court of Appeal. I have known Judge Kelety for more than a decade. For many years, I was her staff attorney on the Superior Court, and more recently, since 2019, her colleague on the San Diego Superior Court bench. My opinion of her is that she is brilliant, kind, humble, and hardworking. Judge Kelety is, at her core, a public servant who is universally admired and respected by her colleagues. In fact, when our bench decided to create an award in honor of a deceased colleague, Judge Woody Clark, to recognize judges amongst us who exhibited professionalism, integrity, humility, collegiality, intellectual curiosity, and generosity towards colleagues, the bar, and the public, Julia Kelety was the very first recipient of that award. This is because she is indeed the embodiment of all of those traits. Judge Kelety's work ethic is unparalleled in our court. She is the only judge on the San Diego Superior Court bench of 135 judges who simultaneously supervised 2 separate areas of law, both probate and appeals. Aside from her exemplary work ethic and her superior intellect, Judge Kelety's humility, kindness, and patience are what make her an exceptional judicial officer. In preparation for today and knowing that I will be the only speaker from Judge Kelety's Superior Court family, I reached out to a few of her other colleagues for their thoughts about her. This is some of what her colleagues had to say. Presiding Judge Mike Smith said, Judge Kelety is known to her colleagues on the bench as one of the kindest, most patient, and most competent judges we have here in San Diego County. I have frequently said that everyone has their detractors, but over these 2 decades of working with Judge Kelety, I have never heard a single negative thing said about her, not from colleagues, not from staff, not from the attorneys. Governor Newsom's nomination of Judge Kelety was simply sublime. and she will be a truly excellent justice on the appellate court. Judge Jeff Bostwick described her as our Yoda, the ever-wise and smart mentor who taught us all. In his words, she cared for us all. What more could you ask of a colleague and a friend? Judge Yvonne Campos, who is here today, described Judge Kelety as follows. Julia is a rock for many organizations and many people. She is selfless and hardworking. She improves whatever community she is a part of. She is very common sense, very rational, and yet very compassionate and morally grounded, and just a superb human being. She's tough as nails, but you won't really ever see that side of her because she is just so pleasant and gracious and courteous. Judge John Sherling, her probate colleague, spoke of his gratitude for Judge Kelety's mentorship and said, "We have big shoes to fill with Judge Kelety leaving the probate division, but her indelible footprints will guide us as we make our way." And Judge Dan Belsky, another probate colleague, described her as uncommonly kind and patient. Secretary Cespedes may not remember this, but when he interviewed me for my current position on the Superior Court, he asked me which jurists I admired most. I named two people, both colleagues on the Superior Court bench, and one of them, of course, was Judge Kelety. That is how highly I think of her and all that she brings to our justice system. Most judges do not have the opportunity to observe their colleagues on the bench. I feel fortunate that I had the opportunity to observe Judge Kelety over a period of many years as she handled complex cases, dealing with parties who oftentimes had high emotions and animosity towards one another. She consistently handled herself with grace and patience. The 4th District Court of Appeal will be immensely enriched by Judge Kelety's presence there, while we on the Superior Court will try to find our way without our Yoda. I thank you all for your time, and I thank Governor Newsom for this outstanding nomination. It is indeed sublime. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's very well said and heartfelt, and I appreciate the additional information from your colleagues on the Superior Court as well. Thank you for that. The Commission now invites the Chair of the Judicial Nominees Evaluation Commission, Mr. Adam Hoffman, for the report of the evaluation that was conducted by his commission.
Good afternoon, Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, Presiding Justice Ramirez. I am honored to present this report on behalf of the Commission on Judicial Nominees Evaluations to summarize the basis of the Commission's rating of Judge Julia Kelety for the Office of Associate Justice of the Court of Appeal, 4th Appellate District, Division 1. The Commission conducted its evaluation of Judge Kelety on December 16, 2022, unanimously finding her to be exceptionally well qualified for service on the 4th District Court of Appeal. According to Commission rules, that rating reflects the Commission's determination that Judge Kelety possesses qualities and attributes of remarkable or extraordinary superiority to enable her to perform the appellate judicial function with distinction. Judge Kelety was born in Idaho and grew up in Arizona. She learned self-reliance and independence, caring for her younger siblings after both her parents passed away while she was still young. Judge Kelety received her BA in Political Science, Business, and English from the University of Arizona in 1982. She earned her JD from Cornell Law School in 1985, graduating Order of the Coif. Based on feedback from her classmates, the law school's faculty awarded her the Fraser Prize, recognizing her for high qualities of mind and character by superior achievements in scholarship and by attributes that earn the commendation of teachers and fellow students. After the law school, and the law school's dean awarded her the Kelly Memorial Prize, an award given to the graduating law student who best exemplifies qualities of scholarship, fair play, and good humor. After graduation, she served as a law clerk for 1 year to the Honorable Mary M. Schroeder of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. In 1986, she worked as a litigation associate at Gibson, Dunn & Crutcher in New York City, primarily defending accountants sued for malpractice. She then decided to move to San Diego, passing the California bar exam in 1990 and serving for more than 7 years as an assistant U.S. attorney in the criminal division at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of California. In that position, Judge Kelety prosecuted a variety of federal crimes, focusing on fraudulent telemarketers who preyed on elderly and vulnerable victims. In 1997, she moved to her uncle's law firm, Wiggins & Kelety, representing individuals in estate planning and administration matters, eventually becoming a partner in the firm. In 2003, Governor Gray Davis appointed Judge Kelety to the San Diego County Superior Court, where she has served for over 19 years. During that time, she has presided in departments ranging from juvenile dependency to probate. She also served for a time as the presiding judge of the court's appellate division. Judge Kelety has received numerous awards throughout her career, beginning in law school and spanning more than 30 years, for her scholarship, integrity, fairness, collegiality, and commitment to access to justice. She has devoted hundreds of hours to teaching other judges, to ensuring access to the courts for those who cannot afford an attorney, and to volunteering in her community. During the Commission's investigation, a significant number of those who provided feedback, effusively praised Judge Kelety as academically brilliant, insightful, kind, and courteous. She is uniformly lauded for her uncommon ability to digest complex legal concepts quickly and accurately and apply them to complicated fact patterns, all while maintaining a compassionate demeanor. Judge Kelety has had an exceptional career as an attorney and judge. She has developed a breadth of experience in civil and criminal cases in both these roles. She is widely known as one of the most knowledgeable jurists in California in multiple aspects of probate law. Her experience as the presiding judge of the Superior Court's Appellate Division will serve her well on the appellate bench. Combined with the glowing feedback received during the Commission's investigation, all this led the Commission to find her exceptionally well qualified for service on the 4th District Court of Appeal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hoffman, for your detailed and helpful report. We now invite Judge Kelety to the podium to present a statement, if you wish, and to answer any questions the Commission may have.
Members of the Commission, Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, Justice Ramirez, it is a tremendous honor to be here today with this group of distinguished guests and to feel the support of so many colleagues and friends and family. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the Governor Gavin Newsom, and his appointment secretary, Luis Cespedes, for his nomination to serve on the 4th District Court of Appeal, Division 1. Even to be considered for such a position seemed impossible to me not very long ago. And the fact that the governor has the confidence in me to make this nomination, and the enthusiastic support I have received from the legal community has been gratifying and humbling. I want to thank also to Gordon and Mitch and Nadia for speaking on my behalf today, and also to Jenny Chair Adam Hoffman for the comprehensive report. 19 years ago, I expressed to Governor Gray Davis, through his appointment secretary, that upon my appointment to the Superior Court, I vowed I would serve with diligence and honor and integrity. I hope my record from the last 19 years bears that out. I stand here today to make the same commitment to the Commission that if I am confirmed as an Associate Justice, you have my word, I will work with diligence, all my diligence, with integrity and with honor, to do credit to the Governor and to this Commission. And with that, I would be welcome to receive any questions that the members of the Commission might have.
Well, thank you. Maybe I'll start with a comment and end with a question. Just first, thank you to the witnesses for your wonderful vignettes and stories and reflections and insight into Judge Kelety. It was very special to hear more about her as a human being and as an attorney, as a judge. And Dr. Craig, I don't know if I've ever seen someone's sibling speak on behalf of them and provide all the insights that you did about your childhood, your experiences, your challenges together. That was very rare and very, very special. So thank you for sharing that with us. Judge Kelety, just a quick question about maybe the shift in roles that you would be adjusting to. How do you expect your role and your work to change as an associate justice?
I think one of the hardest parts of deciding to apply was that I have loved being a Superior Court judge, and I have loved interacting with the litigants and working to solve problems and trying to figure out a way to make the law work for everyone. And I'll be honest, I'm going to miss that. But in that role, I missed the chance to do something I love very much, which is the chance to take a deep dive, to think critically about the law, to be able to research. In many ways, the Superior Court's like a MASH unit. You are moving cases. You do not have a lot of time. You have to figure out the law as quickly as you can, and with resources sometimes limited. And I have enjoyed, on the appellate division, the chance to switch gears. That's a position that I took on only a few years ago, and I got to see a different way, and I got to see how much I enjoyed it. So it is going to be a loss to me, frankly, to step aside from the day-to-day courtroom work, but I'm also looking forward to the pace, and more importantly, the chance to consider deeply, to research thoroughly, to talk with very brilliant colleagues, and to solve problems from that angle. So that's the challenge that I see. I feel that I am ready for it, but it is going to be an adjustment, that's for sure.
Thank you for your very thoughtful response. I appreciate it.
Ramirez?
Thank you, Chief. I have no questions. Thank you.
I have a comment. I know a little bit about the court that you are joining now, and it's a wonderful, collaborative, collegial group I miss dearly, and many are here with you to show their support. So my comment is, I'm sure you understand that and appreciate that, but also there were comments that stood out to me in your materials that talked about your decisiveness, and also combined with your ability to be a really wonderful team player. So my question is, how do you envision you will utilize those skills in the collaborative decision-making process that you can expect to engage in?
Well, on the Court of Appeal, I don't know if everyone knows that the decisions are made usually by panels of 3 working together. And that's the same way it was on the appellate division for the San Diego Superior Court. And I think that the way that I approach things is to find common ground, to figure out how to solve a problem, answer a question by diving deeply into where people are coming from, what are the issues that bring them to have any differences of opinion, and to look for a way to find consensus. And so I feel that it's going to be a good transition from what I do in the courtroom as a Superior Court judge, hearing from everyone, thinking about how the law works, and putting the pieces together in a way that works for everyone, that's efficient, that is fair, and so I feel up to that challenge.
Thank you for your response, and not to prejudge, but I have no doubt that you'll continue to serve with diligence and integrity and honor. This completes the list of witnesses who are testifying here today. Are the members of the commission ready to vote?
I am.
Yes.
All in favor of confirming Judge Julia Kelety for this position, please say aye.
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 On this record and correspondence received, the commission finds Judge Julia Kelety qualified to be an Associate Justice of the Court of Appeal, 4th Appellate District, Division 1. We confirm her appointment. Congratulations, Justice Kelety. This concludes the formal portion of the hearing. Justice Kelety has asked me to administer the oath of office, and we'll do that in a few moments after completing paperwork, and you're all welcome to continue to attend. Thank you. To her. Feel free to take photos too. You ready? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Julia Kelety,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's yours now.
Well, after lecturing my speakers so often on how brief they needed to be, I'm going to try and be the same, but I would be remiss if I didn't thank the folks who have helped me along on this journey. This is a non-inclusive list, so please forgive me if I've left somebody off, but I want to just say some thank yous. Starting with the Honorable Carol Lamb, who's not with us today, and the Honorable Nadia Keilani, who each separately, but almost simultaneously told me to apply for this position. And something that simply wouldn't really have crossed my mind without that help. Carol Lamb actually did the same thing when I was in private practice, saying that I should apply to the Superior Court. So I think we all need to keep in mind how special it is, how helpful it is when we encourage each other and show each other things that are beyond even our idea to understand for ourselves, to see beyond. So I think that's something that we should do for each other. I want to thank my new colleagues, Justice McConnell, Justice Buchanan, Trudeau, Justice Bill Dado, and Justice Joan Arian, who have been so warm, welcoming, and friendly, and have me so excited about starting work with you. I can't wait. I think it's going to be fantastic. I want to thank the wonderful Jenny commissioners who were so kind during this process, Peter Pierce, David Sutton, and Pamela Wayman. Their service to California's administration of justice is immeasurable, and I'm so grateful for how kind they were to me, but also the public service that they do by their hard work. I want to thank everyone who filled out questionnaires, sent letters, answered phone calls. I know many, many, many people in this room did that, and I appreciate it more than I can say. It made all the difference. I want to thank the members of the probate bar, and I think some of them are watching today. They have been wonderful. They supported me throughout this process, even though they made pretty clear they didn't feel it was in their own self-interest to do that. And so I'm really grateful that they would nonetheless rally. They gave me the best send-off any judge could ever have, and I'm so grateful for that. And then I want to thank my San Diego Superior Court family, all of them, especially the probate judges and the probate staff, my courtroom clerk, Hannah Snyder, all of whom have been wonderful through this process and made my time at the Superior Court just fantastic. We had a fantastic team. I'm going to miss all of you. I want to say special thanks to my wonderful family members, including my brother Howard in Poway and my sister Anna Lou in Reno. Hi, you guys. and of course, my brother Gordon, my Aunt Barbara Wiggins, Gordon's wife, Joan Roy. We've always stuck together through thick and thin, as you have heard, and I'll always be there for you, just as you have always been there for me. So thank you so much. And then I have to recognize my terrific sons. Brendan, I can't even look at him without getting, Brendan is the sunshine in my everyday. He's going to be a fantastic high school science teacher when he finishes his teaching credential in a month, so I'm really excited about that. And Bryce, here remotely. Hi, Bryce. He is finishing his second year of law school at Georgetown Law Center. He is my partner in Law Nerd Geek Out and my favorite political commentator, and I'm so proud of him. He's going to be the kind of attorney who makes a difference in people's lives every day. So I love my sons. I'm so proud of them. Uh-oh, now he's getting misty again. And finally, thanks and love to my husband, Zoltan. He was not feeling well yesterday, and in this age that we live in, we decided that he should appear remotely, so hi, hun. He would, if he were here, he would tell you that before Carol Lamb and before Nadia Keilani encouraged me to apply for the bench, that for years he's been suggesting that I apply to the appellate bench. And of course I laughed and scoffed at such a ridiculous notion. What does a nuclear engineer know about appellate work? It's ridiculous. So now we've come to that point in our marriage with those three little words, I told you so. I'm going to have to deal with that for many years to come, I'm sure. Turns out he was right. You were right. So he's, of course, been my loving support this whole time. I really dearly wish he could be here, but sometimes you just got to make the tough call. And for all of those who traveled to San Diego for this hearing, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you would undertake air travel to come today. And I want to invite everyone to join us after Judge Castillo's confirmation coming right up just across the street. Everyone's welcome for some little libations and some food before you have to head on your way. And I'll look forward to thanking each of you in person there. So thank you so much. Thank you very much. All right.